Welcome to the Cypher Admin Help video. Let's get started. At the top center of any screen in Cypher are the familiar 5 buttons: Dashboard, Search Assets, Reports, Contacts, and Admin. Of course, these buttons offer visibility and functionality at the portfolio level. The Admin button takes you to the screen where you will have the ability to add assets and users to your portfolio, as well as manage the permissions given to each user or group. You'll notice 3 tabs below the masthead: Create Item, Permissions, and Users, with Create Item as the default tab. To the left, you will see that you have the ability to manage single assets as well as bulk loan or single note sales. To add a new asset to your portfolio, simply type the asset name here and click the Create Asset button. The newly created asset will now be visible in the Search Assets screen. From there, you can open the Asset Information page where the asset can be populated with data, documents, and pictures as described in the Adding and Editing Data and Documents and Pictures videos. Let's now jump to the Users tab. At the top of the page, you see where you will add new users that you want to have access to your portfolio. You will need to create a username and password for the user. They will have the ability to customize these when they log in. Next, enter the user's first and last name as well as their email address. Now you need to select the new user's authority level. This is their authority over the portfolio as a whole. There are only 2 choices: non-admin and client admin. Only users with client admin authority will have the ability to access these admin functions. A user with non-admin authority will only have the ability to edit their own user information from the admin button. Asset level permissions are set up in the Permissions tab, which we will go over in a moment. You see below a list of all previously entered users in the familiar Smart Search box, which will filter the list of users based on entered information. Now let's look at the Permissions tab. There are 3 points that need to be understood. 1. Assets and users are put into groups to facilitate the setting of permissions. These groups might have only 1 asset or user in them, or they might have hundreds. 2. Permission sets have been created for the ease of replication. The same group of permissions may be used for multiple user groups. 3. Permissions are basically the relationships or connectors that link a user or group of users to an asset or group of assets. On the left, you see 3 buttons: Asset Groups, User Groups, and Permissions. Let's begin with the asset groups. As you can see, the asset groups previously created are displayed with the assets that exist in each group. The title of the group is displayed at the top of each group box. The list of included assets can be rolled up by clicking on the minus symbol to the right of the title. To add or remove assets from a group, click on the pencil icon in the bottom right corner of the asset list. This will open the Add Assets box. At the top of the box, you will see the title of the group you are editing. Below the title, you see a Group Filterable checkbox. This checkbox determines if the asset group will be made displayable or filterable in the Dashboard and Reports page. Next, you see a Search Assets box. With this, you can easily find a specific asset or group of assets. You can type in a state abbreviation, city, or a specific asset name or address. The list will be filtered as you type and will display in brackets the type of search return. Clicking or unclicking the checkbox next to an asset adds or removes it from the group. Click Save at the bottom to accept the changes, or click the X at the top to cancel the changes and close the box. To create a new asset group, click on the words "Click Here" found in the directions at the top of the page. As you can see, this brings up the new group box. Other than the group name field, which is where you name the new group, the process is the same as just explained. Okay. Now let's go through the process. Let's create an asset group and call it Florida. Click the words "Click Here" in the directions. Let's type in the name of our new group, and now let's find our assets. Let's type in the abbreviation for Florida, and we see that we have 6 assets to choose from. Let's select all 6 and hit save. Alright, now let's take a look at user groups. You see that the layout and functionality are the same as in the asset groups. Creating a user group is done the same way as with asset groups, as are adding and removing users from groups. Remember that a user group could contain any number of users, and any one user could be in multiple user groups. Let's edit the user group called Investors by clicking on the edit pencil icon in that group. Now include the users we want in this group and click Save. Extremely easy. Now on to permissions. Here we will link our user groups to asset groups using permissions. As you can see, there are 2 columns, a list of user groups on the left and a list of asset groups on the right. These lists can be filtered down by typing in a name in the Smart search box. In the left column, we will select the user group that we want and drag its sphere to the sphere of an asset group in the right column. Now we choose the desired permission and click OK. You can now easily see that the link has been made and the permission applied. The selected user group, investors in this case, now have view-only permission over the assets in our Florida group. If you do not want to see the permission, just uncheck the Show Labels box above the user groups. To delete the permissions, simply click on the link or label and confirm. To change a permission, delete the existing and create a new link. As always, make sure to save your changes. That concludes this video on admin functions. Thanks for watching.